Hello everyone, it's Ed with Creative Solutions. I've been asked to do an alcohol stove video for quite some time, and it's about 101 degrees outside here in Colorado, so I figured I'd take a little time today is Saturday, and show this video, or record this video anyway. I have some pre-measured bottles here, and what I'm going to end up doing is putting 1 ounce of alcohol in each. I had a couple of comments on one of my videos in regards to the Trangia versus a homemade Trangia. I have 2 homemade ones here, and we're going to do another comparison. This one has been modified to a lot of the comments that were posted on the original video as to why the initial bloom time has taken so long. As you can see, here's one of the other ones that I had in the previous video, and it's quite a bit larger as far as the storage holding tank. And then I also used the larger can, so you can see them side by side in comparison. Today I'm not going to do the largest can. It just takes too long to bloom. So what I'm going to do, actually looking at the stove, I have to cut one more piece of can for the center insert, which is like this here, for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, get that cut out, set it inside, and then I'll load all the stoves with alcohol, and we'll go from there. Okay everyone, I'm back. All I'm going to do with this little insert is just roll it and insert it into the top portion of this new homemade Trangia style stove. Okay? Again, I'm going to show all cans or all stoves are empty. Had a comment about a couple of stoves a couple of people have made. Just a soda can stove, a Venom can with a rolled inside stove, the Trangia, another homemade Trangia style stove, and the new Trangia style stove. So that's what we're going to go ahead and compare today as far as bloom times. I already have pre-measured 1 ounce of alcohol, heat actually is what it is, and I'm going to go ahead and fill all the stoves with 1 ounce. That other bottle was just a 1 ounce bottle. This is a 2 ounce, so I'm going to go ahead and top this one back off, and we'll go ahead and get the last 2 filled up. It's kind of neat. I must have spilled a little bit of heat because it the stove slid across the table slightly, so that tells me I better wipe underneath slightly so we don't start the house on fire. And we're going to go ahead and get 1 ounce in here. I'm going to go ahead and prime this. A couple of drops. And then on the new one, I'm going to go ahead and prime it first to make sure I have enough. And now I'm going to go ahead and fill it. Okay guys, everything's fueled up. 1 ounce. I'm going to go ahead and get the stopwatch on here. And I'm going to keep it up here just in case something happens that shouldn't happen. But we're going to go ahead and start it from right here. And go ahead and start the timer. This one, guys, I took some advice on redesigning the Trangia. And what I did is I actually made it a lot shorter, a lot smaller. It's about 9/16 inch tall. It's not very tall. But as you can see, the Trangia is already starting to bloom, as well as the soda can stove. I'm going to turn off the light so you can get a look at it. Okay, so the soda can stove, the Trangia, and that back Trangia keeps going out for whatever reason. But you can actually see the oh, I lost my train of thought. Here we go. The Venom can stove, that it's just pounding heat. It's an outstanding pressurized stove, big flame, can be used with a small beer can pot, or it can be used with a large beer can pot. I do have a fan going, if you're wondering why the flames are flickering, trying to circulate some air. I don't know why the Trangia is actually burning an orange flame over there. I've burned it a couple of times. I've never had that issue before. But I think I got some sort of leak or something around this one. It just puffed out. But actually that bloomed pretty well, considering all the trouble I've had in the past with that stove. So this is a big improvement on the new homemade Trangia. If you haven't had a chance to look at that previous video, you should take a look at it and see how long it actually took for the one in the rear to bloom. I misplaced my lighter, so I can't attempt to light that. But we'll let this burn until more than likely the Venom can, which is this first one, this front one up here, is going to burn out first, which it is. So it burned for 2 minutes and 58 seconds. We're slightly over 3 minutes now, if you can pick that up. And the soda can stove, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't burned them in a while, and actually that's a new one. This is its first burn. They run, I believe, about 7 minutes on 1 ounce of meth. You could see with the Venom stove that 1 ounce of meth does not last very long. But on the other hand, if you need to get some water boiled or something cooked right away, that's one of the ones to use. It's pressurized and it's pushing out a lot of heat. It's probably pushing out the most heat out of all 3 stoves. The second one would be the soda can stove. And then I'm just quite interested to see. Again, I have the same issue. I must have a gap or something. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but I'm getting a little blow-by out of this newly built homemade Trangia style stove. I did cold roll the bottom, but obviously there's a leak. It's getting too much pressure and it's blowing it out the bottom. It's also lined with carbon felt, so I'm wondering if maybe it's getting wicked up, and then with the heat of the stove it's boiling over and out. And since the center insert is just loosely placed in there, there's no need to actually put holes in there because it's not a solid pressurized stove. There's a vent actually occurring in there with the coiled piece of aluminum that you see me set in. The only thing I could think with the Trangia stove, as far as it burning orange there, is I added a little bit of coloring to the fuel to, you know, so it's not a hazard and the kids don't get a hold of it. Sorry guys, not sure when the camera went, but I was rambling on, and there's a whole bunch of lost video. So I'm going to try this again. You can see the soda can stove just went out, and we're at 7 minutes, say 35 seconds. So on 1 ounce of fuel, that pressurized stove was running at 7 minutes 35 seconds. We still have the new style Trangia, or the new modified Trangia, and the original Trangia burning. And like I said before, I have no clue why she's burning orange. The only thing that could be wrong is the little food coloring I added to the heat, you know, tainted it enough to affect its burn. But we have two going. They still seem to be burning fairly well. I'm not sure if this is part of, or you caught this or not, but the new stove actually is lined with carbon felt, and it appears that they're burning out at approximately the same rate. So we're going to just let these two burn and see what happens. Ran out of battery time, but I was able to record. The Trangia's final burn time was 9 minutes 20 seconds, and then the new homemade Trangia burned for 12 minutes 55 seconds. But what I'm going to end up doing, well, first of all, I think I found where the new Trangia was leaking, and I went ahead and sealed it up. So we're going to do another burn time, and hopefully I could get this one to burn as well. But what I have here are a couple of safety trays. It's especially for this one. It's to, you know, catch any type of denatured alcohol that may spill out or blow out if I have any other leaks. I'm going to use the second one underneath the original Trangia just so that it's fair, and there's no one to say that, you know, this one was off of this metal table. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant. We're indoors. Everything's stabilized as far as temperature. But the other thing I'm going to do differently is I'm going to use denatured alcohol and see if it cleans up the original Trangia. I burned a ½ ounce through it a few minutes ago just to see if we could clean it out. It appeared to start to clean or burn a little more cleaner. So we're going to go ahead and do this test once more with the 3 stoves, and hopefully I can get that one to burn for this test. So what we're going to do is 1 pre-measured ounce of denatured alcohol added. Same here. I'm going to go ahead and prime this. And I'm going to prime this one. I have the stopwatch ready. I'm going to go ahead and light them probably in this order. So, and start the watch. I'm going to turn off the light just so we can see how the bloom time goes. All three seem to be burning up. The Trangia is already starting to bloom out. She looks up and running. That's at about 23 seconds, everyone, for the Trangia to get its operating flame. The new style Trangia, as you can see, is trying to bloom out. I'm going to stop this fan for 1 second so you can get a good look at this. And the older made Trangia, you can see it's still trying to wick up and create heat. It's pretty impressive, the new the original Trangia to bloom that quickly. So what I did is I actually once my battery ran dead and I was able to pull it out, get it recharging, I took the new style Trangia, flipped it over, and I saw where some of the green came out. It was on the can. So I done a little better job of cold rolling it, and then I sealed it a little bit. Okay, we have a bloom time of 1 minute 40 seconds on the new style Trangia, homemade Trangia, and the old one is still working on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let the timer run, and as I start to see this back one bloom, I'll turn back on the camera and I'll let you see what time we're at, and I'll shut it off again and we'll run the final burn times. Like, as you can see, the original Trangia is still burning an orange flame. Have no idea why, but it is what it is. The new style Trangia, you can see she's burning nice and blue and clean. So let me pause the video and I will get back to you as soon as the rear homemade Trangia is starting to blow. Okay, everyone, it's 4 minutes, and the older style, the one in the right rear here, is just blooming out. So that took 4 minutes for it to bloom, and now you can see both are, or all three, are up and running. I'm very impressed with that new one. It's actually got a really good burn pattern. The original Trangia would be outstanding if I could figure out why she's burning an orange flame. Have no idea. But the rear right one, you can see that has a pretty decent blue flame in it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and once they get ready to burn out, we'll take a look at the stopwatch and see what times we have. Okay everyone, we're a little over 9 minutes right now, so we're going to watch the burn time, and right on schedule, that Trangia is getting ready to burn out. So basically right now it's at 9 minutes 17 seconds, and we're in the center kind of simmer mode, if you will. But we'll let it burn completely out and see what we end up with. We could call it, let's just call that 9 minutes 20 seconds. You're not going to do much with that type of flame out in the bush. I mean, basically it would burn itself completely out. So it's out completely at 9 minutes 58 seconds. So if we want to get technical, we'll put, see if I can see this here, burn time, it's going to be 9 minutes 20 seconds, and then completely out 9 minutes 58 seconds. Alright, now we'll let these other two keep going. I'm going to pause the camera, and as I get closer to the original burnout time for the new style homemade Trangia, I'll turn the camera back on. The back one's burning. I mean, it should burn longer than all of them since it took longer to bloom. But let's go ahead and pause, and we'll see what happens. Starting to approach the original burnout time for the new style Trangia. It burned out at 12:55, but that was a complete burnout like what the original Trangia did. So I'm going to see when we actually go right to center, which is, let's call it now, right at 13 minutes, and then we'll record when it goes completely out. We're going to put the old style homemade Trangia, still burning strong. It took longer to bloom, so it wasn't as pressurized to burn more fuel. Out at 13 minutes 51 seconds. 13 minutes 51 seconds, and I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and as the other Trangia starts to burn down, I'll turn it back on. Okay, to give you an update, we're at 19 minutes 13 seconds, and she's still burning pretty well. It's starting to die down, but it's taking a much longer time for it to do so. So let me pause it, and I'll get back with you. Okay everyone, as you can see, she's starting to burn down to the center. I had a pretty long simmer mode is what I would call it, where there wasn't much flame being forced out of the jets. You know, it was just kind of a steady warming feature. But once we get to the center, we'll record that time. That's right now 22 minutes 40 seconds. 22 minutes and 40 seconds. And then its final burnout time. Hopefully it doesn't take as long as that simmering mode to be completely out, because if so, we're looking at a good 2 minutes, but seems to be burning down, you know, at a reasonable rate at the moment. And we are out at 23:35. 23:35. I'm not sure if you could pick this up or not, but it is still running. We'll go ahead and stop it. 23:35. I'm going to record that. Get the lights back on. And finish up. Okay, everyone. So what we ended up having for a burn time on the original Trangia was 9 minutes 28 seconds with an extinguished time of 9 minutes 58 seconds. It bloomed in 23 seconds. So you were cooking sooner, and basically you cooked for 9 minutes and 20 seconds roughly before it burned out. On the new homemade style Trangia, we had a bloom time of, actually I didn't record it, but we had a burn time of 13 minutes and an extinguished time of 13 minutes 51 seconds. I know the bloom time was right about 1 minute 4 seconds, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we're going to go to the older homemade style Trangia, and again, that bloomed at, I think it was 4 minutes some odd seconds, don't recall exactly. I'll have to watch the video and get the exact times. But we had a burn time of 22 minutes 40 seconds and then a burnout time of 23 minutes 35 seconds. So even if you took off the, say, 4 minutes 23 seconds of the Trangia, that would still give you 8 minutes 17 seconds of burn time on this one. So 18 minutes, that's pretty darn good if you ask me. Then if you take the minute 4 off of here, you're looking at about 12 minutes, 12 minutes 47 seconds. 12 minutes 47 seconds of burn time on this one. So either of those two burn times is plenty of time to get 2 cups of water to a boil. Depending on what your ambient temperature is, you know, granted, if it's, you know, say 38 degrees, 40 degrees, it's going to take longer than if you have some water that's, say, 74, 75 degrees. But anyway, there you have the comparison, and you saw the new style homemade Trangia. I was able to end up sealing it completely, so we no longer have a leak, and it is ready to go. So another outstanding little DIY project, and here is the older homemade Trangia with a much longer burn time. And don't forget, everyone, they were all using 1 ounce of denatured alcohol. So as always, thanks for watching. This is Ed with Creative Solutions. Until the next video, be safe, and we'll see you later.